what's up, you guys? It's your boy the Kryptonian saying here, bringing you a review for One Piece chapter, 257? This is 258. Chapter 257, and just a quick update on the cover story. So apparently, Wapol, he's expanding his toy business. It says his omnivorous rampage. So I'm really curious to know just what exactly that entails as far as what he's going to be doing. But I have to say this right here, though. So looking at this chapter, you get a lot of clarity, and that's one of the things I love what Oda's done with this arc is he's continued to expand on this world of Skypiea that we've got. And what he does is he explains how the different dials can be used for military uses, and he does this by first showing us a strong character like Sanji swinging down this huge hammer, unable to break this barrel, right? And even Sanji says he used enough force to where the barrel should go down underneath the deck of the ship. And so when that happens, you go, what just happened here? And that's when Gan Fall, or the Sky Knight, what he does is he explains like, hey, that's actually a type of dial there which it rejects everything. So basically absorbs the impact and then it pays it back 10 times forward. And as he's explaining the different dials, that's when Sanji says, damn, that's like the one that Satori used against us. And even Usopp kind of recalls it. And I thought it was very interesting that Oda chose to have that explanation by such a grisly experienced guy like the Sky Knight Gan Fall, because it applies to real world stuff. People, we invent these awesome objects, these awesome things, and we turn them into weapons sooner or later. You might have a serum that cures whatever, and somebody finds a way to weaponize it. And that's exactly what's going on here. And so I like how Oda, in a very subtle way, is talking about human nature, as well as talking about just war in general. And that's something I've seen in this arc especially. He's tackled religion as well as tackled war. And what I find interesting, and I don't know if a lot of people make these connections with these different mangaka, but a lot of the ones who rose to prominence in the 90s, like late 80s, 90s, those mangaka, like, there's a connection to Hiroshima. And what I mean by that is they've got family, or they grew up after the fact. Like they have some type of relative who lived through what happened with Hiroshima. So I could see how, and if you guys don't know what I'm talking about when we dropped the A-bomb, or when America dropped the A-bomb during World War II. So I could see how that might affect different stances on war. And since then, I believe Japan's been demilitarized, and that's why we have bases there. So I could see just the different things kind of coming in. So I thought that was cool how Oda just worked in the different things in that. But what I also thought was interesting is we see Wyper, and we find out that Wyper used one of those styles, and we find out that there's a cost for using it, because one of his men says, hey, if you don't chill the hell out, if you use that again, you're going to put yourself in harm's way. And Wyper brushes it off, and that's when we get the cut to Brahm, and Brahm is like Enryu's head, or Anel's head is going to roll by the end of this day. And it's because of what Wyper said, that those who are willing to push forward, those who are willing to go after what they want, are likely going to succeed. So I like how Oda's just continuing to add on what he's already put into the world building, the characterizations, the stakes, in a very subtle way get raised. Because Gan Fall, it says, like, really, I gave you guys that whistle and I helped you out because you people from the Blue Seas, you don't understand what you're getting yourselves into. And I really feel like this could be transferred over to the Grand Line as well. Like, guys like Luffy, who are upstarts, if you will, when they get on the Grand Line, they don't know exactly what they're getting into. They've got these big expectations, but they're walking in blind. And what's going on here with Skypiea, that's more of what I expected when Luffy and the others got on the Grand Line. I'm not upset with the way Oda did it. He just gradually introduced us to bigger and bigger threats, and now we have the different warlords and everything. So I like what happened with that. But what's happening here, that's what I expected on the Grand Line. So I like how Oda is just using Skypiea as a way to just open the stakes all the way up while showing us another part of the One Piece universe. So that was cool. What was also interesting is what Gan Fall was talking about, where he says with the mantra, basically it kind of works like the Sharingan, where your body emits a sound, voices. That's how you're able to predict the movements. Similar to how the Sharingan gives you the ability to foresee an opponent's moves before they actually make them, which allows you to copy ninjutsu, hand signs, that type of stuff. So I like the similarity in that, though it's different. And what we find out is that Enel has this ability to an even higher extent. Whereas some people, they can only extend it for as far as they can see. Enel is able to pick everything up on the entire island. And that explains why he's able to know which fighters lost and everything. I thought maybe it was because he had some type of boots on the ground, some type of agents, but it's actually because of that. So that was cool, and it just shows you how much more dangerous this guy is. And I like how Oda is, once again, doing what I told you guys, which is he is building up a character, but not by having that character do anything, but rather by showing it through how other characters perceive him. Since we have a good relationship with the Sky Knight, with Gan Fall, and because we know how Gan Fall sees him and the fact that he succeeded him, and we know Gan Fall's a badass, it just elevates Enel to a whole nother level before we've even seen him just throw a punch in a real fight, not counting when he just spanked his vassal's asses. So I thought that was cool. But right away, it's just like now you're down 2 of your 4 heavy hitters. And so with this one, he's still pretty damn confident. And that's when we get like a little mix up. Hesso ends up fighting with some of the people from the Cloud Village. And I thought that was pretty cool on how quickly he takes them out. And then right when, Luffy, the drop's almost made on Luffy, Luffy's just singing to himself and he's like, pow! Just knocks him out, man. And the best way I could describe this is it really reminds me of one of those Bruce Lee things where Bruce Lee just shows up, doesn't even look at you, and just backhands you. And that's what Luffy did. So that was cool for that one. But to have Luffy meet up with Wyper and have Wyper staring him down like that, it really makes me wonder, is Oda going to make these two clash? Because really, it would be smarter if they work together. And if they do fight, it's going to do 2 things. The first thing, it's going to allow Enryu or Enel, is going to allow him to figure out just how powerful Luffy is. But the other thing it's going to do is if they end up taking one of each other out, it takes another player off the board in favor for Enel, which if you just look at it, he's got the numbers advantage. So that was pretty interesting, but he did say, I believe, only 5 people will be left standing. And right away, you knew he wasn't referring to himself and his 4 vassals because one of them was defeated. So I'm really wondering if the way he's going to have this is if it's going to be Enel, Luffy, one of the other people from one of the tribes, Gan Fall, and I'm forgetting somebody, and probably Wyper. So I guess that would be 5. So I'm wondering if that's going to be the 5 and if it's going to be some type of big ass battle royal. But my chapter question for you guys is going to be, what were your thoughts about what I said as far as with people finding a way to weaponize things that are meant for good? Just what are your thoughts? You can go as deep with this as you want to. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, hit that like button, comment, rate, subscribe, share. I will greatly appreciate it. As always, thank you for watching Kryptonian Saiyan. Have an awesome day, guys.